The day started like any other on Earth. Children laughed and played in the streets, and the sun shone brightly in the sky. But everything changed in an instant. A loud, booming sound filled the air, shaking the ground beneath the feet of the people. The sky turned dark as enormous ships like giant shadows blocked out the sun. They were alien ships, and they had come to invade. In a small town, 10-year-old Alex was playing soccer with his friends. He loved running around, kicking the ball, and laughing with them. But suddenly he heard the loud noise. He looked up, his heart racing. The sight was terrifying. The alien ships hovered over the town, their engines roaring like thunder. Panic spread quickly as people started to scream and run in every direction. "Mom! Dad!" Alex shouted, fear gripping his heart. He turned to see his parents rushing out of their house, trying to gather the family together. But before they could reach him, a bright beam of light shot down from one of the ships. It struck his home, causing it to explode in a shower of debris. Alex's heart sank as he saw his parents disappear in the chaos. Filled with anger and sadness, Alex made a decision. He would not let the aliens win. While others ran for safety, Alex dashed toward the park nearby. He knew it was the only place that offered some cover from the chaos. He spotted an old tree with thick branches and scrambled up, hoping to find a way to fight back. From his hiding spot, Alex watched in shock as the aliens began their attack. They landed in the streets, their bodies towering and green, with big heads and glowing eyes. The alien General Xylox was a frightening sight. He wore shiny armor that reflected the light from the burning buildings around them. Xylox stepped out of his ship, barking orders at his soldiers. "Capture all humans! Show them who is in charge!" he shouted, his voice booming. The aliens moved quickly, using strange weapons that shot beams of light, stunning anyone who got in their way. Alex felt a mix of fear and determination. He knew he had to do something to help his people. As the aliens took control of the town, Alex remembered a story his grandfather used to tell him. It was about a brave knight who fought against a giant dragon. The knight didn't have special powers. He was just clever and brave. That thought filled Alex with courage. He decided to be like that knight. Alex watched as one of the alien ships landed nearby. It had a ramp that opened, and a group of aliens stepped out. They were busy collecting humans, ignoring Alex as he crouched in the tree. He noticed their ship had a strange device on it, glowing and making strange sounds. It seemed important. If he could mess with it, maybe he could help his parents and the other captured humans. Taking a deep breath, Alex climbed down from the tree. He moved quietly, sticking to the shadows. He made his way to the ship, his heart pounding in his chest. The aliens were distracted, so he slipped inside the ship without being noticed. Inside, the air was cold, and strange lights blinked all around. Alex saw the glowing device, a big control panel with buttons and levers. He had never seen anything like it, but he remembered what his grandfather had said. Sometimes the smallest actions can have the biggest effects. He climbed onto a chair and started pressing buttons randomly, hoping something would happen. Suddenly, alarms blared and the ship shook. Alex grinned. It worked! The aliens outside screamed in confusion as the ship's lights flickered. He knew he had to act fast. With a quick look at the chaos outside, he grabbed a lever and pulled it down with all his strength. The ship's engines roared, and the alien soldiers stumbled back. Alex felt a rush of excitement as he realized he was causing a distraction. The aliens had no idea what was happening, and for a moment, they were afraid. But he also knew he couldn't stay inside the ship forever. With one last look at the control panel, Alex jumped out and ran back to the park, hoping to find his parents and others safe. He had started a small rebellion against the aliens, and he felt stronger than ever. He was ready to fight for his family and his planet, no matter the odds. Alex's heart raced as he dashed through the chaos, trying to find his parents. The air was filled with smoke and fear, and the sounds of people crying echoed all around him. He had caused a distraction inside the alien ship, but now he was alone, and the danger was far from over. As he ran toward the park, Alex glanced back at the alien ship. It was now surrounded by several alien soldiers who were confused but quickly regrouping. They were looking for the source of the trouble. Alex knew he had to be careful. He ducked behind a tree, trying to catch his breath and think of a plan. Suddenly, he heard heavy footsteps approaching. Alex's heart sank. He turned to see two aliens marching toward him, their eyes glowing brightly in the dim light. They were tall, with muscular bodies covered in shiny armor. The aliens scanned the area, clearly on a mission to find anyone who was hiding. With nowhere to run, Alex decided to stay still and hope they would pass by. He held his breath as they came closer, their voices deep and harsh. "Search everywhere! The General wants all humans captured," one of them shouted. Just then, Alex felt a cold hand grip his shoulder. He gasped and turned to see an alien soldier standing behind him. "Found one!" the soldier yelled, dragging him out from behind the tree. Panic surged through Alex as he struggled to break free. "Let me go!" he shouted, kicking and squirming. But the alien was too strong. The other soldier joined in, grabbing Alex's other arm. Together, they pulled him toward the ship, ignoring his cries. As they reached the ship, Alex looked around for any way to escape. He saw other humans being rounded up, their faces filled with fear. His heart sank further. He felt responsible for their capture. If only he had thought of a better plan. Once inside the ship, Alex was thrown into a dark cell. The door slammed shut with a loud clang, and he heard the lock click into place. Alex sat on the cold metal floor, trying to gather his thoughts. The room was small and cramped, with barely enough space to stand. There were no windows, only a dim light above him. "Think, Alex, think," he whispered to himself. He knew he had to escape. He couldn't let the aliens win, not when so many lives were at stake. But how? He looked around the cell, searching for something, anything that could help him. After a few moments, he noticed a small vent near the ceiling. It was just big enough for a child to squeeze through. Hope sparked in Alex's chest. If he could reach that vent, he might be able to escape and find a way to help the others. He stood up and examined the cell door. It was solid and locked tight, but there was a metal bench against the wall. Alex pushed the bench closer to the vent. He climbed on top, reaching up toward the opening. It was a stretch, but he could almost touch it. Taking a deep breath, he jumped, using all his strength to grasp the edge of the vent. He pulled himself up, his heart pounding with both fear and excitement. As he squeezed into the vent, he felt a rush of adrenaline. He crawled through the narrow passage, using his elbows and knees to push himself forward. The metal was cold against his skin, and he could hear the muffled sounds of the aliens talking below him. He stayed quiet, hoping they wouldn't hear him. After what felt like an eternity, Alex reached a larger area in the vent. He peered down through a grate and saw the control room of the ship. Alien soldiers were gathered around a screen, looking at maps and plans. Alex listened closely, trying to catch anything useful. "They'll never see us coming," one alien said with a cruel smile. "We will crush the humans once and for all." Alex's stomach twisted. He realized they were planning something terrible. He had to warn the others and find a way to stop the aliens. But how could he do that alone? Then he spotted a button on the wall near the control panel. It looked important. If he could press it, maybe he could create another distraction, just like before. Taking a deep breath, Alex focused. He had to be brave, just like the knight in his grandfather's story. Slowly, he crawled toward the edge of the vent and prepared to drop down. This was his chance to turn the tide. With determination in his heart, Alex knew he would do whatever it took to save his friends and family from the alien threat. Inside the alien ship, Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. He carefully positioned himself at the edge of the vent and peered down at the control room below. The aliens were busy studying the map, plotting their next move against the humans. He had to act quickly before it was too late. With a deep breath, Alex dropped down from the vent, landing softly on the cool floor. He crouched low, hidden behind a large console filled with blinking lights and screens. The aliens were too focused on their plans to notice him. This was his moment. Alex glanced around the control room. There were 3 aliens standing near the main console, and they all looked tense. "We need to move fast," one alien said, tapping the screen angrily. "If we don't crush the human resistance soon, they might find a way to fight back." The fear in their voices gave Alex courage. He knew he had to stop them, but he needed a plan. He remembered the button he had seen on the control panel while he was in the vent. If he could reach it and activate it, he might create enough chaos to help the humans escape. Alex surveyed the room for a way to get closer. He noticed a small stack of crates in the corner. Quietly, he moved behind them, using them as cover. He could see the button he needed, glowing brightly on the console, but it was just out of reach. As he crouched there, Alex felt a sudden wave of doubt wash over him. What if he failed? What if the aliens caught him? The thoughts raced through his mind, but he shook his head. No! He couldn't let fear stop him. He remembered the faces of his parents, the other captured humans, and all the destruction the aliens had caused. He had to be brave. Gathering his courage, Alex decided to make his move. He slipped out from behind the crates, moving quickly but silently toward the console. The aliens were still engrossed in their discussions, their backs turned to him. He could do this. Just as he reached the console, one of the aliens turned around. Alex froze, his heart pounding in his chest. The alien's eyes widened in surprise. "Hey! What are you doing here?" it shouted. Without thinking, Alex lunged forward and slammed his hand down on the glowing button. The ship shook violently, and alarms blared throughout the control room. Red lights flashed, and the aliens scrambled around in confusion. "What did you do?" one alien yelled, panic in its voice. "Shut it down!" But it was too late. The ship was already in chaos. Alex took advantage of the confusion and darted back behind the crates. He watched as the aliens struggled to regain control. They pressed buttons frantically, but the ship's systems seemed to have a mind of their own. "Seal off all exits! We can't let that human escape!" shouted the alien general, Xylox, who had entered the room just in time to see the commotion. His face turned red with anger, and he pointed a long finger at Alex's hiding place. "Find him! Now!" Alex's heart raced as he realized he had to move quickly. He needed to warn the other humans and help them escape before it was too late. He glanced around, searching for a way out. He spotted an emergency exit sign glowing above a door at the far end of the room. With determination in his heart, Alex made a run for it. He sprinted across the control room, dodging alien soldiers who were now scrambling to respond to the alarms. They shouted and pointed, but he didn't look back. His only focus was the door. As he reached the exit, he could hear Xylox shouting orders behind him. "Stop that human! Don't let him escape!" But Alex was quick. He burst through the door just as an alien soldier lunged at him. The hallway outside was dimly lit, and Alex didn't slow down. He ran down the corridor, heart pounding. He could hear the heavy footsteps of the aliens behind him, getting closer. He turned a corner and ducked into a side room, praying he wouldn't be caught. Inside, he found a small storage area filled with strange equipment and supplies. Alex quickly scanned the room, looking for anything that could help him. On a shelf, he spotted a small laser device. It looked like a weapon, and he picked it up, feeling its weight in his hands. Just then, the door burst open and 2 alien soldiers rushed in, weapons drawn. Alex's heart raced as he raised the laser, pointing it at the aliens. "Stay back!" he shouted, trying to sound brave. The aliens paused, surprised by his boldness. They exchanged glances, and in that moment, Alex realized he had a chance. If he could intimidate them just a little longer, he might find a way to fight back. The tension in the room was thick, and Alex knew the fate of the captured humans depended on what happened next. Alex stood in the dimly lit storage room, gripping the small laser weapon tightly. His heart raced as he faced the 2 alien soldiers who had just entered. They stared at him, momentarily taken aback by his unexpected courage. But Alex knew he couldn't let them recover. He had to act fast. "Get back!" he shouted, trying to sound more confident than he felt. The aliens looked at each other, their eyes narrowing in disbelief. One of them, a tall alien with dark blue skin, stepped forward. "You think you can scare us with that little toy?" It sneered, raising its weapon. Just then, a loud alarm blared, shaking the room. The control systems had gone haywire, and the ship was in chaos. Alex knew this was his moment to turn the tide. "I don't want to hurt you, but I will!" he declared, pointing the laser at them with determination. The aliens hesitated, unsure of what to do. They were trained soldiers, but facing a human child with a weapon was not something they had prepared for. Seizing the opportunity, Alex backed toward the door, keeping his eyes on the soldiers. "I'm going to find the others! You can't stop me!" he shouted. Before they could react, Alex dashed past them, out of the storage room and into the narrow hallway. He could hear the aliens yelling behind him, their footsteps pounding against the metal floor. Alex didn't look back. He ran as fast as he could, adrenaline pumping through his veins. As he sprinted down the corridor, he spotted a large window overlooking the control room. He could see the chaos below, aliens running everywhere, trying to regain control of the ship. Alex felt a surge of hope. If he could get to the control room again, he could turn the tide in favor of the humans. He reached the end of the corridor and saw a ladder leading up to a platform above. Without hesitating, he climbed the ladder quickly, his heart pounding. He had to get higher to see the entire room and find a way to help the captured humans. Once on the platform, Alex looked down at the chaos unfolding below. He saw the alien General Xylox shouting orders, his face twisted with rage. "Find that human! He cannot escape!" The soldiers were running around, trying to lock down the ship and prevent any further damage. In the corner of the room, Alex spotted a group of captured humans, all looking frightened and lost. His heart sank. He had to save them. Gathering his courage, he took a deep breath and formulated a plan. He noticed several control panels on the platform he was standing on. Maybe if he could activate some of the ship's defenses, he could create an opening for the humans to escape. Alex approached the nearest panel, his fingers trembling as he pressed buttons at random, hoping for the best. Suddenly, the lights flickered and a loud voice echoed through the ship. "Intruder alert! Security systems activated!" The room shook slightly and Alex's heart raced. He had triggered the ship's defenses, but now he had to be quick. Xylox noticed the changes on his control panel and snarled, "What is happening? Someone fix this!" As chaos erupted, Alex felt a mix of fear and excitement. He was gaining the upper hand. Just then, Alex spotted an emergency release button on the control panel. It looked like it might unlock the doors where the humans were held. Taking a deep breath, he made a leap of faith and pressed the button. The ground trembled again, and he watched as the doors slid open with a hiss. The captured humans looked up. Confusion etched on their faces. "Run! Get out now!" Alex shouted, waving his arms to get their attention. One by one, the humans began to escape. The aliens were too busy trying to fix the chaos Alex had created. They were shouting and scrambling, which gave the humans the chance they needed. Alex felt a wave of relief as he saw them running toward him. However, just as the last human stepped through the door, Xylox turned and spotted Alex. "You!" he bellowed, fury in his eyes. "You will pay for this!" With his heart pounding, Alex turned and sprinted back toward the ladder. He knew he had to get away. He climbed down quickly, but the general was fast. Xylox charged after him, his long legs moving swiftly. "Stop! You cannot escape!" Xylox yelled, but Alex was determined. He dashed through the corridors, his mind racing for a place to hide or a way to outsmart the angry alien. As he turned a corner, Alex spotted a small escape pod. It was meant for emergencies, and it was just what he needed. He ran toward it, his mind racing with possibilities. If he could reach the pod, he might be able to escape and even save the others. With Xylox closing in, Alex slammed the pod door shut just in time. He quickly punched in the launch code he had memorized from his previous visits to the ship. The pod shook as it powered up, and Alex felt a mix of fear and hope. "Hold on!" he whispered to himself. "This is it!" The pod launched away from the alien ship, and as he looked back, he saw the chaos behind him. The alien ship was in turmoil, and he had helped create a chance for the humans to escape. But his battle was not over. Alex knew he had to get back to the others and lead them to safety. He took a deep breath, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The fight for humanity was far from over. The escape pod jolted as it hurtled through space, leaving the chaos of the alien ship behind. Alex's heart raced as he focused on the controls, his hands shaking with a mix of excitement and fear. He had managed to escape, but he knew he had to get back to the other humans and help them find safety. As the pod flew through the darkness of space, Alex took a moment to catch his breath. He looked out the small window and saw the vastness of the universe stretching before him. Stars twinkled in the distance, and for the first time since the alien attack, he felt a glimmer of hope. They were free, but the battle was far from over. The pod's control panel beeped, bringing Alex back to reality. He needed to find a way to communicate with the other humans. He began pressing buttons, hoping to establish a connection with any nearby human ships. Suddenly, a screen flickered to life and a familiar face appeared. It was Captain Sarah, the leader of the human resistance. "Alex, is that you?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with surprise and relief. "We thought we lost you." "I'm here, Captain," Alex replied, his heart swelling with pride. "I escaped from the alien ship. I triggered their security systems and opened the doors for the other captives. We need to regroup and find a way to fight back." Captain Sarah's expression shifted from surprise to determination. "That's amazing, Alex. We need all the help we can get. The aliens are still out there, and they won't stop until they capture us again. Where are you?" "I'm in an escape pod," Alex said. glancing at the navigation screen. "I'm heading toward the nearest human base. I'll make sure to warn them about the alien forces." "Good thinking," Captain Sarah replied. "But be careful. The aliens will be looking for you. We'll send a ship to meet you. Just hold on." With that, the transmission ended, and Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. He was not alone in this fight. He had a team waiting for him, and together, they would find a way to turn the tide against the aliens. As the escape pod continued its journey, Alex's mind raced with plans and ideas. He thought about how he could use the information he had learned on the alien ship. The General Xylox would not give up easily, but Alex had seen the weaknesses in their operations. He could help strategize their next move. After what felt like hours, the pod finally approached the human base. It was a small station built on an asteroid, hidden away from the alien patrols. The base was bustling with activity as human soldiers prepared for their next mission. When Alex landed, he quickly exited the pod and was greeted by Captain Sarah and a group of resistance fighters. They looked at him with a mix of admiration and concern. "Welcome back, hero," Captain Sarah said, giving him a warm smile. "You've done something incredible. Now we need to plan our next steps." As they gathered in the command center, Alex shared everything he had witnessed on the alien ship. He explained Xylox's strategy and the resources the aliens were using. The room buzzed with energy as the humans listened intently. "We can use this information to our advantage," one soldier said, nodding thoughtfully. "If we know their tactics, we can set traps and ambush them." "Exactly," Alex replied, feeling a surge of confidence. "We can't just defend ourselves. We need to take the fight to them. We can show them that humans will not be defeated." With newfound determination, the team worked late into the night developing a plan. They designed traps and created distractions to lure the aliens into their territory. Alex felt proud to contribute, knowing he was helping to lead his people toward freedom. The next day, the humans prepared for their mission. They gathered their weapons and loaded up their ships, ready to take the fight back to the aliens. Alex felt a mix of excitement and nerves as he boarded the lead ship with Captain Sarah. "Are you ready, Alex?" she asked, her eyes shining with determination. He nodded firmly. "Let's do this! We're going to show them what we're made of." As their ships took off into the vastness of space, Alex felt a sense of purpose wash over him. This was not just a fight for survival, it was a fight for their freedom. The aliens had underestimated humanity, and now it was time to prove them wrong. As the ships sped toward the alien fleet, Alex knew they were facing a daunting challenge. But he also knew they had something powerful on their side: hope. Together, they would fight back against their oppressors and create a new beginning for all humans. With his heart racing and his mind focused, Alex prepared for the battle ahead. He was ready to lead the charge, not just as a child, but as a hero fighting for his people. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity would not back down. They would rise together, united in their fight for freedom.